Hey guys, Dusty here. I know I'm a little late to the Novablast party, but I finally got my pair of Novablast 3s and I have a few runs in them, and today I'm going to be giving my first impressions review. So I had the first and the second version of the shoe. Both were great. The second version improved upon the first. There's been some changes to this newer version, the Novablast 3. And before we get into my review, we'll go over the basic specs. Oh, but quickly, I almost never talk about appearances of shoes. I think this colorway is really cool, though. It kind of reminds me if Neo from The Matrix started marathon training. So my men's, size 8.5, fresh out of the box, weighs in at 8.29 ounces. Novablast has a stack height of 31 millimeters in the rear, 23 in the forefoot for a heel to toe drop of 8 millimeters. No issues with the upper. It's comfortable. It breathes just fine. They've lightened up the tongue significantly, so the tongue is semi-gusseted. However, it's a really thin tongue compared to the previous version, but I haven't had any issues with that so far. For those of you wondering, yes, the insoles are removable. And now we'll get right into what makes the Novablast so special. That is the midsole. So in the previous versions, the Novablast 1, the Novablast 2, Asics was using their FFBlast midsole foam. Now in the Novablast 3, they're using their FFBlast Plus midsole foam, and this makes the shoe quite a bit lighter than previous versions. I personally think it has a little bit more energy return to it as well. In the previous two versions, I found it to be very long lasting. My pair of Novablast 2s at home, I think they have a little over 600K on them, and they still feel great. The rubber on the outsole is also very durable. You can hardly tell that my pair with 600K on them have any wear. And I think this shoe, along with possibly like the Hoka Mach 5, are two of the more versatile running shoes out on the market right now. Your Novablast 3, if it's like the Novablast 2, it's going to be very long lasting. Obviously you can do easy runs in this, long runs. I actually have the Novablast TR, the trail version, which I'll review in a few days. I did a 30K run in those right out of the box, and they felt great. This shoe feels really nice when you want to pick up the pace. And I think for those of you out there that don't want to drop stupid amounts of money on a carbon plated shoe, or you just feel like you don't need that, this could be a great all-around option, both for training and for racing. I forgot to touch on the fit of the shoe. I had no issues with the fit whatsoever, no rubbing, no hot spots. Found the width to be pretty average. Another thing about the ride of the shoe is it's a lot more stable, especially compared to the first version, but I find it probably even a bit more stable than the second version. And if you're looking for an ultra bouncy and squishy shoe, I don't think the Novablast 3 is it anymore. That first version of the Novablast was an unbelievably bouncy and squishy feeling ride, and the ride of the shoe is really firmed up over the next couple of versions. If you want a truly squishy cushion shoe, I would look at the Nike Invincible 3, which just came out recently. Actually, I probably prefer the Nike Invincible over the Novablast when it comes for easy run, like really easy runs, like a recovery run. But I think for the shoe overall, in terms of versatility, you really can't beat a Novablast 3. One thing I will touch on is the outsole. So if the outsole's anything like the second version, it's going to be very, very durable. One thing I will mention though, my first run in this shoe, the temperature was right around 0 or freezing, and there were either wet patches of pavement or slightly icy patches of pavement, and this shoe, at least in my experience over the first couple of runs, is very, very slippery on wet surfaces. So on dry pavement or hard packed trails, you're not going to have any issues with this, but in my experience on wet roads, I slipped around like crazy with this shoe. But yeah, that would be the only negative I have about this shoe so far. Price of the shoe, you're looking at $140 US or $185 Canadian, and I think that's a great price. You're getting a very versatile shoe that's probably going to last a very long time. Your cost per mile is going to be quite a bit lower than some other options out there. So anyways, that's my quick review after only a few runs. Let me put many more miles on the shoe, and then I'll release my full review. And I also have my Novablast 3 trail review coming out soon. So if I've released that already, I'll add it to the end of the video. If not, wait around a few days for that review to be released. And like always, if you like the video, make sure to give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't yet, make sure to subscribe for more everything running. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.